So, dear learners, in this video, we will be discussing about the interaction models. Okay, so interaction model is also one kind of system model. So, basically, in this particular video, we will be concentrating on use case diagram. It's a use case diagram is a one type of interaction model. Okay, so let's discuss what the meaning of these interaction models for here and what is the purpose of these interaction models. So basically, the modeling user interaction is very much essential and important as it helps to identify the user requirements because whenever you will start representing a part of system or any functionality in terms of the user interactions, okay, it will always help you to identify what exactly the different interactions are going to take place, okay, and these interactions are going to reveal once again some more the requirements, okay, so that can be get identified over here. So this is the main purpose of drawing the or representing the interaction models here. Okay, see, for example, say when I am talking about the ATM, for example, say if you consider generally withdrawal of the money is a kind of functionality. Okay, so when you represent this withdrawal of money in terms of an interaction model is concerned, okay, so withdrawal of money in an ATM is not a single interaction. So there are so many variety of different interactions that will be taking place between different parts of that particular ATM. So if you just try to imagine as if you are withdrawing the money, you are standing before the ATM. So just have a look at the different interactions which are going to take place. Okay, so the customer is going to insert the what you that ATM card. Okay, then you will enter the PIN number. Okay, then if the PIN number is correct, then it will ask you to enter the amount to be withdrawal. Okay, or whether you want mini statement or any different options that will be get displayed. Okay, then you will enter the amount to be get withdraw, then it will check with your balance. Okay, so all these things will be done. So these are all the different interactions which will be taking place as a part of withdrawal of the money. So withdrawal of the money is not simply a single one line statement or one line requirement here. Okay, so when you represent that particular functionality in terms of an interaction model, there you will come to know that what are all the different activities that we are going to perform there. Okay. So this is the main purpose of representing such kind of things in terms of what the system models, especially this interaction model, is concerned. Okay, then another point regarding with the interaction model. So this kind of interaction modeling, system to system interaction, see that. So system to system interactions are going to highlight the communication problems that may arise. See, normally when you are representing the interaction between system to system, then automatically it will be helpful for you to identify what are the problems supposed to be get arised in future, okay, for the system that you are going to develop. So that is the another advantage. Then modeling the component interactions means the interaction which is taking place between component to component. Okay, so it will always help us to understand if a proposed system structure is likely to deliver the required system performance as well as what the dependability factors. So especially the system performance and dependability are the non-functional requirements which are going to talk about the behavior of the system. Okay, they are going to talk about the characteristic of your software system. Okay, so that you can understand in a better way when it is possible to model the interaction between the components level. Okay, so this is how the interaction models are going to be very much helpful here. And within this interaction model we are going to discuss two different types of diagrams here. One is use case diagram and another one is sequence diagram. So these are the two different types of diagrams which comes under what interaction model that we are going to discuss here. Okay, so let's start with the use case modeling. So use cases were developed originally to support the requirement elicitation, and they are all they are the very use case model is one of the very popular type of system model under UML, Unified Modeling Language is concerned. Okay, and use case modeling it's a type of the graphical notation which is going to represent your system or part of system at the abstract level, okay, very abstract level. But every use case model that you are going to build, okay, it will always helpful to identify or extract, okay, a new kind of requirement elicitation means what? Extracting the requirements, okay. So that is what the requirement elicitation. So while extracting a new requirement for your system, use case modeling is very much essential. And also every use case represent a discrete task that involves what? An external interaction with the system, okay. So every use case model is going to consist of two important things here. One is the interaction which is going to be taken place, and another one is the actor, okay. Means under any particular interaction, who are the actors involved? So here the actors are nothing but what? Either they may be a people or the any end user, or they may be an another system itself, okay. So they will be acting as the actor, and between two actors, okay, something is going on, that is nothing but what? A kind of interaction. So that kind of representation is known as what? Use case modeling, okay. So just have a look at one simple example that we have taken for the use case here. So our use case that we have drawn here for what? Transfer data. So transferring the data in MSc PMS means mental health clinic patient management software, okay. In that software, how the data transfer will be taking place. So here the transfer data itself is known as what? It's an interaction, and this interaction is going to taken place between what? And actors. Who are the actors here? The medical receptionist is one actor at the one end. At the another end, okay, the patient record system itself is what? An actor here. Means these are the two different actors involved in this particular interaction. The name of the interaction here is what? Transfer data. And even you can represent, just look at the notations that we are using here to draw the use case diagram. Interactions will be represented by using the oval shape mm, notation here, and the actors will be always represented by using what? Stick diagram, okay. So this is what the stick diagram, okay. So this is how normally we are going to draw the use case. And the another important thing is, just by drawing this use case, it is not sufficient actually to understand in depth the nature of that particular functionality or part of that particular system, okay. Because in the beginning only I told that use case diagrams are going to represent only the abstract level, okay. So at the high level, we can represent the system, we can identify the interactions, we can identify the actors. But in turn, along with the use case, we need to support this particular use case diagram along with some sort of tabular description. Means in a text format we have to describe what exactly this interaction means, okay. That is always required, okay. So this is what that we need to do it. So every use case diagram is supposed to come up with a sort of description, the tabular description with the different titles. We need to describe the every interaction here. So just an example that we have taken here. So our interaction here is the transfer data. So here in this particular slide, we are going to explain how this tabular description has been written over here, okay. So this tabular description of any interaction, in our case, we have taken an example of the transfer data here, transferring the data in MSc PMS, okay. So every tabular description should come up with some of the titles over here. So what are those? Who are the actors for that interaction? What is the description of that interaction? Then what data which is involved? Then what is the stimulus? Stimulus is nothing but what event makes this particular interaction is supposed to be happen. Then the response, that is the outcome of that particular interaction. Then any other comments related to the interaction that we need to explain here, okay. So for example, just we will go through this transfer data interaction, okay. Just have a look at there. Just I will read out the content over here. So in this particular transfer data interaction is concerned, who are the actors here? The actors are medical receptionist and patient record system. These are the two actors that we have identified. Then what is the overall description of this interaction? that is transfer data. Transfer data is not a simple interaction or activity, that we need to clearly explain what exactly the transfer data means in MSc PMS. So that we have explained over here. Just have a look at, just to read out this content here. A receptionist may transfer data from MSc PMS to a general patient record database that is maintained by a health authority. The information transferred may either be updated, the personal information including address, phone number, etc., or the information may be what? The summary of the patient diagnosis and treatment. Okay, so this is what the exact the information which is to be get transformed. Okay, and who is supposed to do this? Receptionist. Okay, this data transfer should be done by the receptionist, from where? From the MSc PMS to the patient record database, means system. So this is what the actual description of the transfer data. Okay, then what are the data which are involved here? Patient's personal information, then the treatment summary. These are the two data that can be transferred here. Then what is the stimulus which is going to enable this particular interaction here? The stimulus here is the user command issued by medical receptionist. Means the medical receptionist is the authorized user. Okay, that person is supposed to put some command. That command is going to enable this particular activity or interaction. That is what? The transfer of the data. Okay, then what is the response here? The response is confirmation that patient record system has been updated. See there. So it means that whatever the data transfer that we have done, that should be get updated in patient record system, that is PRS. Okay, then what about the any comments related to this particular interaction is concerned? The comment is the receptionist must have appropriate security permission to access the patient information and the PRS. Why? Because we, as all of us know that we are, this particular software is related to the medical health related, then we know that the privacy of the every patient should be get maintained. So that is why only the authorized person is allowed to perform this data transfer. So that is the reason that we are mentioning here the receptionist who is responsible for transferring the data. The receptionist should be what? That person is the authorized person, that is with appropriate security permissions. Okay, only that person can perform this data transfer. Okay, so this is how we need to explain the interaction which has been identified in every use case. Okay, so just like that, just have a look at here the different use cases that we have identified, some of the examples for MSc PMS. Okay, especially for the role of medical receptionist. So here the actor is medical receptionist, and with respect to MSc PMS, what are all the different interaction that this particular medical receptionist can perform? Okay, what are those things? Medical receptionist can register the patient, unregister the patient, they can view the patient information. Just now we have discussed they can perform the data transfer. Okay, or they can contact the patient. Means these are all the different interactions that they can do. So just like what we have explained in the tabular description for transfer data, similarly we have to explain all these other interactions also in terms of what? The tabular description. So it means that every use case should come up with the supporting of this tabular description. Okay, which will help us to understand the overall requirement, and also it will help us to identify the new requirements for any. So this is the one of the way to identify the new requirements. Okay, or we can extract more and more requirements by such kind of representation of the use case, along with the help of what? The tabular description of each and every interaction. So this is all about the use case diagram. So in the next video, we will be discussing about the another type of the diagram, that is sequence diagram, which is also a type of what? An interaction model. Thank you.